Hello there, Fathery.
Hello there.
How's it going?
Strange. I don't remember ever knowing an Imperial Navy boy.
Yeah, I don't remember
Very
owning a
interesting.
I don't remember owning a droid that I took apart so that it could be my house security system.
I don't remember knowing this little astromech droid named R2D2 for like a whole trilogy of movies plus 7 seasons of an animated TV show where I called him by name various times. I
Hello
don't remember
there.
any of this. Hello there.
That's what spice does to you, Father. It makes you.
You know what? You know what I like? I like when like you go on an adventure with someone when you're like 10 years old, but you go on like this daring mission with them and they end up having to like rescue you and everything. But then like years later when you're sending them a voicemail, you're like, General Kenobi, years ago you served my father in the Clone Wars. And just like kind of act like you've never met them.
That is true. Well, she thinks his name is Ben.
Well, but let's talk about this episode, this
Yeah,
part four. Part
Part
four
four.
of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Our friend PJ is going to be along soon, but yeah, let's get right into it. So, what happens in this episode? Let's see. Obi-Wan Kenobi gets his groove back.
Yeah, or at least partially. I think they might
Partially,
be
yeah.
saving some of his full blown return to form for the final 2 episodes of the show.
I can't believe there's only 2 episodes of this series left. I'm kind of like and this one is only like 30 some odd minutes,
Right,
too.
but I like that. When I saw
Yeah.
the runtime, I was like, oh, thank God, it's only 38 minutes. That was my first reaction, because I think these episodes work a lot better when they're like these tighter, shorter little outings. But I've seen a lot of speculation in the online, I guess, Star Wars fan community. There's seen a lot of speculation saying like, what if they're doing a season 2? But I'm like, I don't know. 2 episodes seem like plenty of time to wrap this. There's not like a ton of stuff
Yeah.
unresolved. Like whatever
Yeah.
happens to Reva, and then like I guess he might meet Vader one more time before he goes back into hide. I mean, like he got the kid. He's just gotta like drop her off and then go home, right? I mean, hell, you could do that in one episode. You could do that in a.
You really
in a
could
short.
do that like in a movie also.
Yeah.
Like,
So I don't know why
it's
people
true.
think we need like a whole nother season of the show.
I don't. I mean, like, I don't think we'll get a season 2, a second season.
They've
of
always
this.
described
Yeah.
it as a limited series, and it was
Series, yeah.
originally intended to be a movie.
That's right.
So, but I have. I mean, I already knew this, but it has been made very clear to me. I have learned, or I've been reminded, I should say, that I want very different stuff than like the vocal online Star Wars fandom seems to want in new Star Wars content, because this is the first episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi that I genuinely liked. You know, like all the other episodes, I've liked parts of them, but I've always been mixed. I actually like this 4th episode, and it's the one that I've seen get so many complaints. Like every Facebook group I'm in that talks about Star Wars, I see people like, God damn, I want to like Obi-Wan Kenobi, but this 4th episode, or like my YouTube feed is a bunch of videos saying like, can Obi-Wan Kenobi be redeemed after this 4th episode? Has Disney ruined another classic Star
What?
Wars character? Yeah, so I don't get that reaction. I thought this was
I don't
good.
get it either. That's
I liked
crazy.
it.
What's like the main beef that folks are talking about? Do you think?
Okay, so here is my theory, but the main things I've seen brought up is the show has become meandering, or people saying it is a filler episode. And what I think they mean by that, I think there's a large portion of the fan base they're just excited to see Darth Vader swing a red lightsaber. I guess that's like
Yeah.
all they want. Or
Yeah.
that's like the main thing they want. Like if they hated everything else in Rogue One, but then got like that hallway sequence of Vader that like saved the movie for them. So I think that group of people, which I'm not in, but that group of people, I think they just want to see Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader swing lightsabers at each other, and anything that is distracting, anything that's distracting from that, or taking away screen time from that, or not like moving towards that, I think they might see that as filler, or as the storyline is meandering. But like the story was about like been coming out of retirement reluctantly to go save little kid Leia, and she got snatched up from him, so he has to go get her from the Inquisitors. And Vader was just kind of like a side quest that popped up along the way. I'm sure that is going to lead into another confrontation, but for me, that was what I was least interested in this entire show. In fact, that felt like forced and kind of dumb and kind of undercuts the stuff from the original movie. But yeah, I guess some people, like, that's all they just want to see Darth Vader and Obi-Wan fight each other. But for me, I loved this fourth episode. I liked
If Darth
all of
Vader
it.
was a character that never even crossed paths with Obi-Wan, I would have been fine with it too, because I feel like it doesn't really, I mean, it's not going to break the canon for me if they do have a fight, because they have to have some kind of conflict where Obi-Wan gets the one up on him, because for me, for it to make
Catharsis
sense,
of the show, yeah.
yeah, and also just to make sense that he says, last time we met you were the master, and now
Yeah,
I'm
I was but the learner.
yeah, I was with the learner. So
Now
like maybe there's
I'm
still a
the
thing or
master.
two that Obi-Wan can teach teach Darth
Yeah, I've
Vader.
been trying to think of how we could. Maybe he's still like learning dark side stuff. I don't know. I've been
Stuff,
trying
yeah.
to think of how
How
could
it
we
could
make
be.
that make sense. But anyways,
Hey, PJ.
PJ is here now. PJ, what did you think of part 4?
Meandering.
He was
Was
listening.
it is it a filler episode in your opinion?
I get the criticism. I can understand. I liked this series up until now. If it keeps going like this, then maybe we're in trouble. But I think this is just. It's like episode 5 of The Mandalorian, where it's like,
What did
Really?
you
next one's gonna be
dislike?
better. Okay. We already had Leia being kidnapped and rescued. Do we really need a whole episode of it again? I appreciate like the setting and the display of force powers and all of this, but like that interrogation between Riva and Leia, it was just like, when is this going to be over?
Oh, I love
For one
that
thing,
scene.
why doesn't Riva sense that Leia is force sensitive?
I think that a lot of people are force sensitive. So she does make a remark like, you're very strong, like, she can't
Yeah,
penetrate
she doesn't
her.
say
Well,
you're
that's
strong
not-
in the
yeah.
Force. But,
Yeah,
I mean,
she just says you're very strong. Yeah.
some people it doesn't get noticed. Like Vader doesn't notice it when he encounters her in the next movie, or the movie that takes place after this.
Vader disappointed me too. When he walks in, he's all like ready to tear shit up, and then she's like, "I put a tracker," and he's like, "Well, you're much more clever than I thought, or I underestimated you." I'm like, "Dude, no." It was just like it was like too hard of a turn. All of a sudden, it's like you were so angry, and now like, oh, there's a tracker. Well, these Inquisitors are not very good at their job, are they? They keep
Well, yeah,
they
but
keep
to
getting
him,
the
like,
people and letting them get away. And this base that they're on has like no defenses. They can't see the ships
Fortress
coming. And,
Inquisitus or Inquisitorius.
yeah, it's like just the whole how it played out at the end was just really.
I love the Inquisitorius because they took that from the Fallen Order video game.
yeah.
That was one thing when they were like, no one's been dumb enough to try to go in here. I was like, I
Yeah,
was
I
dumb
know,
enough.
it's
I did
like-
it in a video game in 2019.
Yeah, doesn't. It's just so weird.
That's pretty funny.
The resources and the power they have, and they can't even sense a ship like coming near, even to the planet. Even like you would keep an eye on all that stuff, wouldn't you? I don't know.
I mean, the Star Wars always has like characters like sneaking around. It's part of like that old classic, like 1930s, 1940s pulp serial sci-fi. Like when Obi-Wan Kenobi's sneaking around on the Death Star, right? So to me, it felt
Yeah.
like a return to that stuff. And
it felt kind of New Hope. I get
Right.
that. Like, yeah.
exactly, which that's my favorite Star Wars movie.
Also,
I'm wanting the story to
the-
move forward, and it just seems to be like stalling. It's like, okay, you got Leia and Obi-Wan saved her again, and Rey was like, and Darth Vader's mad. Okay, why have if you're gonna have Darth Vader there, give him something like interesting to do, like when they first show him in Episode 3.
What I like about it
it's
is that
badass.
it seems to escalate. It's like you had the, like, it seems like, to me, one of the things I like about it is that, like, first of all, we don't have Jedi going around saving people anymore. So it's like the Empire's kind of like lost its, kind of
Mojo.
like mojo, for lack of a better word, because they're not really hunting good Jedi like Obi-Wan, and even though he's not quite himself right now, but
He's getting there.
he's getting there. But
He's like Rocky in Rocky 3. He had to get beat up by what was Mr. T's character?
oh, I forget.
Clubber Lang. He had to lose to Clubber Lang so that he could come back and then beat him later in the movie.
Some of the action here, like, bordered on absurd comedy. When, what's the woman's name who, Tala, I think her name is?
Tala, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's with the stormtroopers, and like she kind of like smacks one in the head, and then like grabs the other, and it's like, stormtroopers are they like the weakest people in the galaxy?
They really are,
Yes,
though. That's
they
like
are
always
in
been
every single
every
Star Wars
iteration,
movie
yeah.
or TV show
That's
ever.
what I'm saying. Was it meant to be funny? I guess it was, right? Yeah. But it's, come on, it's like,
The-
and it's sneaking around.
the only thing we've
Everybody's so
barely
stupid.
gotten. The only thing we've barely gotten in a competent like stormtrooper are those death troopers, the ones in black.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they had purge troopers from the
Oh, what
video
were they?
game. There were purge troopers here.
I didn't see them. Wait, which ones were the purge troopers?
They were
And was that droid in the video game too? The seeker droid or whatever it is.
No, I thought it. At first, I thought it might have been the droid from the Battlefront 2 campaign, but it was something else.
Oh yeah,
it's
with
a
the
new
red.
creation.
Oh, cool. Those are cool looking troopers. Wow. Let me see.
Yeah, do you have a picture of them for
Yeah, I'm gonna put
people
one
who
up.
don't know what I'm talking about?
Purge trooper. What a interesting name.
But they're basically like they're a class of stormtroopers made to fight Jedi. There aren't
okay.
many of them though; they're kind of rare. But
Can I
yeah,
ask a
like
question?
Sure.
Do you think this whole show is going to be about him getting Leia back to Bail
Yes.
Organa?
I mean that's kind of seems to be the
premise. I
story
think
that they
that's the
set up
story,
in
yeah.
the first 2 episodes.
And I think when it was going to be a movie, it was probably going to be something like this too. And I think
Yeah.
it would have worked probably really well as a movie. But I'm liking.
I think so too.
I'm liking the way they're doing it as a show. But I do see that like I don't think it's frustrating for me personally. Like I dig the whole like Obi-Wan struggling and seeing all these new locations and all that, so it doesn't feel meandering to me. But I get your criticism because it does seem like they protracted out a movie into 6 episodes.
Yeah, I mean
And-
this feels like it could be like the climax of the like this is like season finale type stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I've found right up until now it's been pretty good. I don't think.
We
I
had
think there's only
opposite
2 episodes
reactions.
left. Like the penultimate and the finale has to have something like juicy, because if they had Darth Vader kind of like go after Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan's like scared shitless, and he's like, he's old and he's out of touch, he's out of practice, then we need a follow up to that, I think. And I know it's like I'm wanting some like nostalgic Darth Vader action, but I'm really not invested in seeing Leia and Obi-Wan on the run unless where they're going next is something interesting and it's an adventure in itself, I suppose. But just her getting kidnapped again, if that happens and he has to save her again, I think, I don't think
But
they'll do that.
But
I don't think we'll see her get kidnapped again.
Well,
again.
this is what I
Maybe.
liked about
Might
her
happen.
being kidnapped, because I didn't know what to think of it like last week when it ended with Reva grabbing Leia. I kind of didn't like that, but then here when Obi-Wan Kenobi jumps out of the Bacta tank and he's like, I'm ready to go get her, I was like, oh, they needed them to have some time together so that he would have like this bond for, and so the audience would finally be able to start liking this kid. And now like the audience and Obi-Wan Kenobi are on the same page. We're like, no, we got to go get Leia, we got to go get that kid. And
She's our baby Yoda.
yeah, she's the baby Yoda of the
She's
show.
the baby Yoda. Also, she's what I
There's
like
baby
is
Ice Cube.
I do like that she's firsthand seeing the Empire for what it truly is, and it's going to solidify her as who she becomes later
Someone
on.
who like shoots cops later, basically.
Basically, what are you looking at, PJ? What's going on over there? Hold on, let's get.
It's a little kitten.
You got the kid. Oh my god! Let me see. Let me see. Hi. Hi. Aw. That's our baby Yoda of the show right there.
Oh, yeah.
The baby
little
Yoda of
cute
Starfleet
thing.
Boy After Dark.
I do love this outfit he's wearing. It's more like his Jedi robes, like from the prequels. Like it's like last time he was just wearing like what were you calling it, Father Hobo? He was like a hobo like
Yeah,
before, and now
yeah,
he's like looking more like his like prequel self here.
yeah. He felt like the prequel Obi-Wan Kenobi or the Clone Wars Obi-Wan. But I want to see him in like the that clone, like the armor, like the shoulder pads.
I haven't
Wouldn't that
named the
be
cat
cool?
yet.
Uh,
I've been calling him Booger. I don't know why.
Booger's cute. Sowing the seeds for the rebellion later. Oh, and
Yeah.
Michael Strathmore was looking for someone who didn't like the episode, and so we got him. So congratulations, Michael. No, PJ, but you're liking the show for all so far. It's just that it's on the like it's at a tipping point, like with this episode for you, right?
Yeah, it's like I said with Mandalorian episode 5. I found that was like it wasn't
Season 1
it
or
wasn't
2?
Season 1. It wasn't an indication that I think the show was failing. I was like, no, like it simply is. It feels like filler.
What was
It's like-
episode 5 of
I don't
season
remember.
1?
That was the one where Fennec Shan
Tatooine. The Tatooine episode.
she gets shot at the end, I think.
Yeah. That with Mando season 1, I liked every episode being like its own little story, and I actually would have kind of thought it was cool if like they never explained like what Grogu was or why the Empire wanted him or like any of that. If it was just like this Mandalorian and this Muppet like on the run and they're going to be like a different planet every episode, I would have been fine if they just kept doing that forever. But it's like I was saying at the top of the show. I don't know if you heard PJ, but I like it's clear to me like the things I want Star Wars to do are not things that like the majority of people that want Star Wars to do. So I'm not surprised that I've been mixed on every episode, and like this one that I like, it's kind of the one that other people are like, yeah, I don't know, I don't know if I like this.
It's if the next 2 episodes are good, then it's a win because that's like 1 episode out of 6 that I didn't like. And even though I didn't like it, it's just that I didn't like it as much as the rest, and it's still cool to look at. Like,
I mean, look at this
how
shit.
everything is. I got to admit, some of the CG looks fucking. It's like just here and there, not a lot of it. Just
I didn't think that the
it has a
T-47s at
TV
the
budget.
end.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's why they spent a whole episode on a planet that looked like it was shot, right outside of Los Angeles, and it looks like, oh yeah, this is where they would have shot a TNG episode.
Episode 3 you're talking about, right? Where
Right. Yeah, the last one. Yeah, I'm thinking like whenever this was a movie script, they probably would have had all of that stuff happen on the same planet. It probably just would have been the episode 2 planet and the episode 3 planet just would have been like the same, but they just broke it up here for budgetary purposes.
the
What'd you guys
Empire
think
just feels
of,
like a big joke here, anyway.
What'd you think of this whole sequence? Did you guys like all the Talon stuff? Oh, I called her Talon. Shit, Tala. Talon's from Picard season 2.
Yeah, to me it kind of made more sense if you've played the game and you saw like Cal Castus getting into the Fortress Inquisitorius. It's like, oh, they beefed up security after that, so now for Obi-Wan to do kind of the same thing, you needed someone on the inside. But most of that stuff, I was like, oh yeah, there's some tension there. Are people gonna like expose her? And she ends up having to like kill some people to like keep them from catching on to her. So
I think her story was believable in this setting because all these people are like scared shitless of the Inquisitors. So when she dropped like
it seems weird that they wouldn't be more like alerted to the fact that, oh, like you actually work on this whole nother planet. Why are you even here?
Right.
But I mean, it's Star Wars. They're gonna do fun little sneaky things. It's like Star Wars has always had like this goofy side to it, and that's part of what I like about it. It's Taika Waititi said it best. He said Star Wars is not serious at all, but it takes itself seriously. So it's normally a bunch of silly stuff happening, but the way that the story is telling these silly things, and the story is taking all these things seriously.
Here's a nice
Like
callback
this
to
guy putting this underwater breather on and then swimming down under the
little beats
ocean.
like that with the underwater swimming and the breaking of the glass, and he has to hold it shut with the force, and the deflecting the stormtroopers who aren't gonna. It doesn't matter how narrow the hallway is; they're never gonna hit their target.
That's an Imperial stormtrooper.
The climax of the episode was like, okay, now they managed to pull off like something exciting at the end, but some of that stuff when the ships are flying in and it's like, what, how, and then the CG doesn't look very good, and it's a couple of things throughout in the previous episodes too that just look, wow.
Yeah,
Not
even
very good.
Star Wars has a budget,
Yeah.
a very high one, but.
And it's like 6 episodes. Come on, we got 2 left. Presumably, I don't know. There are rumors about more episodes. Like, yeah. Why?
Yeah, I just can't imagine a
Ewan
season
McGregor said
2.
that there was. He said episode 6, and then he said 7, 8, 9, and 10. Like, people didn't know if he was joking or something. This was at Star Wars Celebration.
Oh, so, like you mean like a surprise, like Discovery did in season 1? Like surprise, there's like 3 more episodes or whatever. Like, remember that? Wasn't there something
they would have?
It could very well still be a mini series, except they've just said that they just said 6 so they can surprise us with more for whatever reason. I have no idea.
Oh
I don't think they would do that.
I don't know.
Reasons.
He could have been just like messing with people. Then why would you say that?
Right. You typically don't want to advertise something as a limited series if there's going to be multiple seasons. If you're already willing to announce that there's multiple seasons, then you'd want to push that to get subscribers. You also wouldn't want to be like, surprise, there's more episodes. There's actually going to be an episode next week and the week after that, because like I said, like you would want to have a big push to get subscribers.
I don't feel like we need more Obi-Wan beyond this. If they can't do something interesting with him by the end of this mini-series, then
I don't think
just
we
leave it
needed
alone.
this
Just
miniseries.
because you got the animated stuff picking up from that, and then
Sure.
Cassian Andor, that series is going to lead into Rogue One, which is
Rogue
New
One.
Hope. They're filling in all the blanks anyway. So if this is a one and done, then I'm perfectly fine. I don't see them doing a second season, but I can see them maybe adding more episodes than they advertise, maybe.
But what more is there to do? Like
Exactly, that's
he's
what I'm
got
trying
the
to
kid,
think,
He's
like-
going to take her home. He's probably going to
Exactly.
fight Vader on the way, getting her back there, and I think that, and then he'll go home to Tatooine, and that's it,
I
right?
think there will be a climax with not Obi-Wan and Vader. I don't think they'll fight again. I think that
No, they're
that
going to. They have to fight again
I
because
think they-
Vader's line has to make sense. PJ.
Oh yeah, they have to. Okay, this is what's gonna happen. Obi-Wan schools Vader, like really, like kicks his ass, and that's why in The New Hope he's like, yeah, well, I was still like the learner.
The
then,
learner.
man, 'cause you fucked me up.
Vader.
That could work.
Yeah, like before Obi-Wan does the finishing move, he needs to be like, I told you before, bitch. I am the master.
You're right. I yield.
And then when they face each other again, that's why Vader is like, when we last fought, I was but the learner. Now I am the
I'm
master.
the master.
Yeah.
Here we have a poor kid being strapped into a machine, just like on Strange
I hated
New
that.
Worlds.
I
know,
hated
me
all of
too.
this.
It's like, yeah,
It
was
reminded me
traumatizing.
that Strange New Worlds kind of did this too in this week's episode.
in this week's episode. Yeah, it was like
Except
scary-
that had more of an
triggered.
impact. This seemed like very fucking like shady and just like, oh, the whole trope of like, let's put a child in danger just for the drama of it, and it's like the things, what was going to happen? Were they going to like go in her eyes? It seemed like very bad.
It was very dark. The actor who plays Leia was good in that scene. I was like, really uncomfortable. She's
terrific.
great.
She's one of the
She's
best
good.
kid actors I've seen.
Yeah,
on
she's
anything.
super.
Yeah.
All right, we got to talk about this scene.
Oh, that's that one dude. I know him. The Billy Goat looking guy. He was in the cartoon.
Which one's the Billy Goat? Oh, this guy. Yeah, he's
the first
he's
one
in
that
Clone
Obi-Wan
Wars.
saw, yeah.
Yeah.
He he helped Ahsoka on that. Well, just watch the show.
There's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
scene.
yeah.
There's a scene almost identical to this in the latest season of Dexter, where somebody's walking down a hallway and they're seeing preserved bodies, like all stood
Oh,
up
really?
and posed, and except it's not carbonite, I guess.
And
What is-
they do something like, yes, this isn't carbonite, it's something else. But
Something else.
they show one of the Jedis from Clone Wars, Illuminara, being preserved like this, except she's like more decayed. But she was in one of these kinds of stasis chambers in Star Wars Rebels, and the Grand Inquisitor used her as bait to draw out Kanan and Ezra in season 1 of Star
Oh
Wars
yeah,
Rebels.
because even after they die, the Force lingers on the body or something like that. Like the
Right, they
presence
had
of
a
the Force.
hologram of
That's
her,
right.
and Kanan thought he felt her in the Force, and he was like, "I'm too stupid to be your teacher, but Illuminara will be a good Jedi Master for you." And then they go there, and it's like, "Oh no, Illuminara is dead," and the Grand Inquisitor
Well,
had set
Obi-Wan
that
didn't
trap.
feel any of these people, but why do you think they're here? Like, what do you think the show? Because I don't think they're gonna explore this in the show. Like, do you think they're dropping this for like Andor or one of the other series?
This is for like some of the this will be like touched on more in the comics and the novels, but I think
Right.
it's just all meant to be part of their big cloning program that eventually is used, I guess, to resurrect Palpatine or whatever the hell happens in the Rise of Skywalker.
They even have like a kid. Jay's pointing out is that's the
The
kid from
youngling.
Episode 3, right? Yeah, it has to be like a youngling from the temple. I wonder if Baby Yoda's in here somewhere.
Well, no, because I think all these people are dead.
Oh,
So
right. That's right.
Grogu didn't die; he escaped.
Yeah, he escaped. But yeah, this was kind of disturbing. And there's two levels. You see how like in that first shot, there's like two
Yeah,
levels
they've
of
been
it.
busy wiping out the Jedi.
Also in the main chamber, I think we pointed this out last week, but they have all the lightsabers around the window in the main chamber of the fortress where the Inquisitors gather.
Oh, I never noticed that actually.
Oh yeah, I don't have a picture of it here, but there's like lightsabers just like all along the wall, like tons of them. There's like 30 or something lightsabers. It's crazy. But yeah. But this is new. This has never come up before, like this style of like other than that reference in Rebels.
We've seen the Fortress Inquisitorius before, but we've never seen them preserving dead Jedi like this before. But we do, yeah, like you just said, I mentioned Rebels, but
Yeah.
that wasn't in the Fortress Inquisitorius. That was somewhere else. They had like I guess removed her from there. But that was so cool because like in that season 1 of Rebels, they talk about like the Mustafar system, and they say like that's where Jedi go to die. That's like where the Empire captured Jedi, and they never come back. They die there. So yeah, now we see the results of that.
Jay, I agree. Creepy as
Yeah.
fuck. That red, see that red lining on the windows, Fathery? There's lightsabers laying gently
Are you
across all
sure?
those. Yeah, here, let me pull up another photo of it. But this is the scene PJ was talking about. Well, so she cleverly lies to the Inquisitor here. Let me see if I can pull up the lightsabers. Fortress. It's called Fortress what? Inquisitorius.
Yeah. People should play the video game too. Play Jedi Fallen Order. It is a great Star Wars game. Did not get nearly enough recognition. I got universal praise in reviews and stuff, but yeah, it's a fantastic game. If you like The Force Unleashed, play Jedi Fallen Order, and you'll be like, man, Jedi Fallen Order is like even better.
I gotta play. Yeah, I love The Force Unleashed, so I gotta play that game at some point. All right, I found it. Found an image here. Let
My
me
my
put it
Text
up.
Trek co-host Dave is playing it now for the first time, and he's loving it. He's like, "You're right, Father. I should have listened to you 3 years ago when you told me this game was good."
I have a Mac. I don't have a console. Um, well, I have a
Isn't there
Nintendo
a sequel
Switch.
to that coming out?
There is, but not till next year, and that's going to be next gen exclusive.
All
I
right,
did
Father, you
watch
see.
gameplay and the graphics are very good.
I don't know if you can see. It's still too far away, but 1, 2, 3,
I think
4.
those are lightsabers.
Those are 100% lightsabers. Hold on, let me see if I can find
What?
another picture.
Okay.
Let me
They
see.
just
Hold
look
on.
like handlebars.
Yeah, I just thought that was like built into the architecture there.
No. You could see that. There's like a. Oh, I wish I had screenshotted
Are they different?
it.
Is each one different?
Each one's different. Yeah, they're all
Okay,
different.
they might be
lightsabers.
lightsabers then, yeah, because
No, they're 100% lightsabers. Hold on. I'm like, find me a thing. Let's see here. Um, Gosh darn it. All right, I'll just have to take a screenshot another time, but trust me when I tell you those are
Hey,
lightsabers.
Jay
you.
knows
We
what's up
believe
in your
you.
chat. Jay says Fallen Order is great. Oh, but the back yeah, you visit a lot of the same planets again, but I thought it played really great.
Badass. The chamber goes dark. Lightsaber lights up. boom, boom, lightsaber goes silent. It's dark again. Boom, boom, lightsaber comes back. I love this scene.
Yeah,
Just
that
really
was
good.
cool. And I like the idea of the force is strongest with you when you're
In the
helping someone.
yes, yes,
Which is also something that they've talked about, like in the books and stuff. Like you have a stronger connection. A Jedi has a strongest connection to the Force when they're trying to protect life, and so I think
I
it's
love
much
that.
more Jedi to have like a guy trying to save a kid or something like that than you're like when he's holding the glass back and stuff like that. I think that's cooler way of showing oh look, Obi-Wan still has it than seeing him and Vader hit each other with lightsabers.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting stronger as the series goes on, and yeah, the more times he rescues Leia, like when he the third and the fourth time he has to rescue her, he'll get stronger and stronger, and like nobody can stop him.
Wait till we did the sixth time he has to rescue her. It's gonna be like unstoppable.
The corridor looked cool too. I liked
Yeah.
the angles on it.
This is my favorite shot, and
It's
he's
very
doing
like
his.
Rosetta style artwork. It reminds me of like that original Star Wars poster that has like
Oh,
this
yeah.
very Rosetta looking one of Luke sticking the lightsaber straight up in the air.
He's doing all his twirly bits and his swirls and everything.
I don't like that, but I'm pretty sure the next time we see Vader and Obi-Wan fight, it's going to be more of like that prequel style lightsaber fight, which I don't like, but I've said it all along. They didn't make the show for me. They made the show for people who like respect the prequels.
I think they might give us a hybrid between the. I don't think it's going to be as dancy pants as the prequels.
Honestly, the way that J.J. Abrams and Ryan Johnson did the combat in the sequel trilogy,
Was
whatever you want to say
great.
about the sequel trilogy, I love the way that, all of those fights, the way all of them were directed and choreographed.
I feel like I love this scene, but I couldn't help but feel that the water would move a lot faster than it did. Like Obi-Wan would have not have an, although he
Depends
does.
on the pressure.
He has
They're
that
not
force run.
They're not
He could-
incredibly deep, right?
That's-
They're only like a few stories deep. They're not like 20,000
No, it looked like
leagues under
half the
sea.
building. Well, no, not that deep, but it looked like half the building was underwater in the diagram.
There's a stupid thing that happens in action movies, and it happens here. It's either an explosion or water, where people can outrun it, and it's beyond belief. And then the doors close, right? But yet no water gets on the other side.
It was drippy, just slightly, but it should have been a
Afterwards,
lot
but
more.
There was nothing. The floor
Yeah,
was
it
bone
should have been a
dry
lot more.
when he ran through, right?
I
No.
in my
seen
head
that a
canon,
lot.
he does the super fast run that he did in episode
No,
1.
because that was terrible. That was god awful. It should never have happened the first time. But George Lucas was not in his A game when he made that. That's something that's a good point, PJ. That's a bit old hat, and also this always kind of bothers me. But like, if you have characters that are totally submerged in water, and then like 5 minutes later, like they're running around and their clothes are dry, that always stands out as weird to me too.
Jay wants to know, were these scenes similar to what happened in Fallen Order? I heard Darth Vader does this in the game or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like giving away spoilers, but I'll just say
okay.
like there's some big climactic events in the game that take place at Fortress Inquisitorius. Play the game.
I like these scenes where you just see floating dead stormtroopers in the thing.
Them dudes are cannon fodder.
This was
And
silly,
here,
but I
this
loved
goofy
it.
Thing, yeah.
It's super goofy, but I liked it.
Yeah, it felt it's like that Star Wars goofiness that I like. Like in Mandalorian when they go in the cantina and there's like this giant ant is playing poker in there. It's just like yeah, Star Wars has like the silly shit in it.
All I was hearing was circus music during all of that. And I'm like, no. You know, like this weird, like jazzy circus music. Just like, that goofy stuff they play in like light comedies.
Yeah. I'm surprised we didn't get that.
Anyway, I don't understand. Like everybody's so like brain dead in the Empire. Like the
Well,
security sucks. The guy,
that's
the
consistent.
bearded man, by the way, and they're all shaven. The bearded man going around with clearly a child or something. He's hiding, and you can see two sets of feet. And I mean, come on.
A text message audience member sent this. I think it's a concept art for the Fortress Inquisitorius. I love this. This is insane with the
Yeah,
Mustafar
it's beautiful.
in the background. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Aliens built it.
No one notices the one officer with a beard. It's true. That's. But anyways, they're in a pickle here. She's got them surrounded, and then of course, the cavalry comes in the form of these speeders.
Is this
and
the CGI shot, PJ, that you said you didn't think looked very good? Because this is the one I didn't think looked good.
Yeah, this is when they come in and float like that and shoot. And the fact that they got away so easy, well, aside from the CGI, but the fact that they got away so easy, or the surviving person did, and like nobody's going after them and tracking them to see where, like, is it that easy? I mean, look at all the resources you have. And Riva, I feel almost bad for her now because she's like, oh, she's like always like looking up in the air, raising and shaking her fist at the people she keeps losing.
She is tracking them though, isn't she?
She's tracking them. She put the thing in the droid, but yeah, it's like, come on, get to the point, people. Get to the good stuff. we come on.
I liked seeing that those speeders. What are they?
T-47s.
T-47s. My Mac does this new thing where I
Yeah.
can go from one Mac
I've
to
never
another.
owned one.
I liked seeing them, but like that shot of where they're flying towards that door, like that bottom left shot that you have there. It was like the one shot. I was like, that looks a little dodgy.
Here's a close up of the. Let me see here. Oh, wrong. Let's try that again. Why won't it share? Hold on. Here's a close up of the speeder and my friend who died. The newsy. He was wearing a newsy hat in an earlier scene. Wade. His name was Wade.
I was wondering, like, what the fuck is he tied? He had a friend who died? Like,
When the
was I supposed to know about this?
when the
What are you talking
CGI in
about?
the series looks worse than PlayStation 5 Unreal Engine
This
kind of
looks bad too.
graphics,
I don't know.
It's not good.
You know what I like about it is it looks like a model. It doesn't actually. I wonder if they actually used models instead of CGI.
That's a CGI shot.
You sure?
It looks like
Yeah.
PlayStation 3 video game cutscene.
I don't think it looks that bad, but I mean, like, not in motion. A lot of stuff when you pause it looks worse, but yeah, like it definitely they definitely like showed their budgetary limitations there.
Oh, here's a good point. Jay says, "Weren't there TIE fighters in the hangar? What is the point of having them?" Yeah, like you would think they'd like chase after
Scramble
them,
the
right?
fighters.
Just for
scramble the
decoration.
fighters. It's true. Good point. Good point. Well, you know they were thrown off. They haven't seen a Jedi. Like imagine like not seeing a Jedi in like 10 years, and then all of a sudden.
Rebels
it's
did a
like-
good job of that. For that first episode, that 2-part first episode, when they're on Kashyyyk with the Wookiees, and Kanan pops his lightsaber open for the first time in years. They're like open fire on the Jedi. Like you get like that moment of hesitation from what's the security officer's name?
The guy who ends up we won't
Defecting.
say- Yeah. I forget his name.
It begins with a K, like Cassius or Casus or something.
I think that's what it is.
But anyways, yeah, like but that moment there, like they're like, oh my god, it's a Jedi. Yeah, but I feel like Obi-Wan's not like at that. He's not.
Well,
at,
he doesn't
like,
even pull his lightsaber out in this scene, actually. So
I don't like him using the blaster. That bothered me in the previous episodes. It bothered me here. You should just stick to the lightsaber.
anyways, we get Vader almost kills Riva.
Yeah. If she hadn't have put that tracker, then she would have. He was ready to kill her. He was straight up ready to execute her.
She doesn't look like she's floating here. She looks like she's standing on a plank or
She
something.
probably was,
like,
and they just CGI'd it out of
CGI'd
there.
her. But I like how tall and imposing he looks in the
They've
shot.
done a good job making Hayden Christensen look 6'6", because he's not.
Yeah, he's not.
He's like 6 feet tall, probably. But David Prowse was 6'6", but they've I've never been watching and was like distracted by Vader
The
not being
height.
tall enough. They were putting him on boxes or whatever. He always looks tall.
And here we have this. Do you know? Have you seen this cruiser before?
I do not know that that ship. It looks kind of familiar. It looks kind of like sequel trilogy era.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. That's what it was. I
Like
was
when
trying
they're
to think of it,
evacuating
yeah.
the what was the base at the end of The Force Awakens? Whatever they're using at the
Star
beginning
Killer.
of no the Rebel
Oh,
base
the
or
Rebel
Resistance
base, yeah.
base.
But yeah, sadly, we're soldiers. I guess we're soldiers now, is what she says, and that's kind of like a poignant moment because she didn't want to be. She just wanted to help people
You know the
in a
the
different way.
path the path is going to be integrated into the Rebel Alliance whenever that comes to be. I think the path is definitely going to be explored in a lot of, if not the shows, then a lot of the books and comics coming out in the future.
Probably the Andor show.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, they
thinking
could
that
tie it
too.
into there. That'd be what if they could have like a Jedi show up in Andor.
Oh, for sure. Like a few maybe that get saved or whatever on the path. We could have the one that they referenced,
Quinlan Voss.
Quinlan Voss. Yeah, that
I
might.
think they're for sure bringing back Quinlan Voss in something. I kind of would like to see him get a comic series because he when the Dark Horse Comics had the rights before Disney bought everything. He was a very popular character because of the comics. So I feel like he kind of belongs to the comic book readers. Like that should be where he shines. But I would love to see him in live action as well.
What about the Dash Rendar fella? What about that fella from?
From the Shadows of the Empire.
Dash
or
Rendar. I
there's
haven't thought
another
about
one.
him.
Who's the guy Sam Whitworth played?
Oh, Starkiller.
Yeah, why hasn't he been in anything live action? I mean, the actor looks like they modeled the game, and the same thing with the dude from Ian from Shameless. He's in Fallen Order. He's the main character.
Cal
When-
Kestis.
He could totally play a live action.
They
version.
could have used Cal when they were like, well, they probably don't want to step on whatever the games are doing, but when they're like, no one's ever been stupid enough to go into the space, they could have been like, except for one guy, Cal Kestis, and they could have like, he could have like helped Obi-Wan for just this one episode, and then it basically would have been like a big commercial for like, buy Fallen Order and buy the new video
would be
game that comes out
genius.
next year.
That
Yeah,
would be
Mm-hmm. And Cal's cool. Like he's a really cool character too. So it would have been.
and they
neat,
showed
but-
his droid in Mandalorian,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
BD1. What's that lady's name who dated a Jawa?
Oh, what's her name?
But BD1 lives with her now on
With
Tatooine.
her.
With all of
Oh,
her
that's like
little
his
droids.
actual droid. Like that's interesting. Like that's the BD1.
I mean, it could be a different one that looks identical, but it kind of seemed like the same droid. to me.
Speaking of droids, poor Lola.
You know,
In case
Lola's
the
been
audience
hacked.
can't figure it out,
Yeah, let's make the eyes red.
because audiences are always dumb, and they don't get nuance. Just lingering on the droid and having that be the last shot, and not having like the thing, it's good enough. But anyway, I suppose like kids might be like, "Why did they show the droid at the end? I don't get it." Maybe, but I think most people would. You don't need to have every evil thing. You don't have their eyes light up red, so the audience can know something's up. Like, when would that ever happen in a practical situation? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, who would
It's like in
design
Prodigy.
anything? Who would design a robot or a bug, a tracker? To be like, make this fucking thing's eyes red.
Also,
So-
wouldn't like
so the-
like if I saw my droid, my favorite droid's eyes red, I'd probably like throw it on the ground.
Exactly.
Like I'd be like, what the fuck?
It's like in
Smash!
Prodigy when the diviner hacked the protostar.
Oh, that's
and
right.
then Hollow Janeway turned into goth Hollow
Gotcha,
Janeway.
it's true.
But I like that though. It's more visually interesting. I guess just turning your eye red. I didn't even notice that happening. I forgot that happened. But
That's funny.
but yeah, that's something that's another one of those tropes, like the running down the hallway in front of the water.
Yeah.
Jay
We've all
says
seen
Sam
it too many
Witwer,
times.
Force Unleashed interacts with Star Wars on Twitter lately. Maybe we'll see him.
You know what I'm wondering about that is if they use him You know how I was just saying like Quinlan Voss was kind of a a character for the comics. I'm wondering if they bring back Starkiller, but it's going to be in the Jedi Fallen Order sequel, and just treat him as like the big video game character.
Oh, that could be
Could.
that could be happen. Yeah, that could happen. So yeah, Obi-Wan episode 4, not so bad, not so great for some of us, but I really liked this episode. I just liked, for me, the main thing was seeing Obi-Wan get his groove back. I
Hmm.
just like I liked all the Force. To me, more than seeing Vader and Obi-Wan go at it, I love spectacles of the Force, And while this wasn't like Yoda lifting a X-wing, or Luke projecting himself across the galaxy or anything like that, it was cool having seen like very little Force usage from Obi-Wan, and him struggling with it, as a matter of fact, like retapping back into it, and then like here he does something. It was a good it was a good climax, and it's setting us up for like
Slow
something even
burn.
bigger. Yeah, I
Yeah.
liked it. I liked it a lot. Cool. Anything you guys want to promote, tell the audience about before we sign off for tonight, or any other final thoughts on this episode, or speculation about what's going to happen next? I always love to see what you guys think is going to happen next.
Well, they're gonna have a big fight with Darth Vader.
Well, no, just specifically in the next episode. Do you think we're going to get Qui-Gon, guys? Do you
Yeah,
think it's gonna happen?
Liam Neeson's gonna show. They keep mentioning Qui-Gon Jinn.
They didn't mention him at all in this episode. It feels like
Well, they've mentioned him a few times. Like,
And Liam Neeson said that he doesn't do TV, even though he's voicing Qui-Gon for, what was it, the anthology series that's coming out?
I thought his son was voicing him.
Oh, really? Okay.
But maybe it's
I
Liam
did hear him
Neeson,
say
though.
that. Like he's like, I don't
don't-
do TV. It's a little
Oh.
small.
Only films.
Only films. But
He'll do this.
there has to be some point where the Jedi sees his Force Ghost master or whatever. Like it's such a common thing, and all they got to do is have Liam Neeson de-aged. As he looked in 1999, and
It'd be easy
for,
to
for
do.
2 minutes, and you're good.
Well, he's
Do you
gonna
think
be like
Anakin-
blue and glowy, so like it'd be easy if like you don't even have to make it look that de-aged
That DH.
because it's not gonna be that real clear image.
And
anyways.
Qui-Gon's going to be like, let me tell you a story about a time in the 80s in Ireland. My friend had a thing happen to her, and
I
I
know
went
this,
out with
I
my baseball bat. Anyway,
Oh my
tire
gosh.
iron.
He said tire iron. That's
tire
funny.
iron.
He had like an Irish word for it.
Oh, jeez.
Me wacky stick.
Okay, how about, like, do you think Qui-Gon would Qui-Gon affect Vader? Maybe Vader sees Qui-Gon. Maybe,
Ooh,
you know how,
that would be good.
like
no, wait,
Yoda.
why would that make any sense? Because he only knew him for a short period of time.
Yeah, but Qui-Gon's super influential.
And Darth Vader is
on-
like, Qui-Gon, sir, I'm sorry.
It's like Yoda showing up to talk to Leia or something. It's weird.
No, but like Qui-Gon was like the only person who really truly believed in Anakin. Like once Qui-Gon died, Anakin was like totally disrespected by the rest of, like, Obi-Wan fulfilled the promise of training him, but he never believed Anakin was the chosen one. He even says in episode 1, like, Master,
That's not
everyone
true.
says, what's that?
In Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan has
He
that-
says not you were the chosen one. He says you were supposed to be the chosen one, like proving. It's almost like saying like,
No, he doesn't he say you were the chosen one? You were the chosen one. You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them.
Yeah, that's the one.
But it feels to me
But
almost like
and
he's
also the beginning of Revenge of the Sith, when they have that conversation before they part ways, before
Right.
Obi-Wan goes off to Utapau to go after General Grievous. Oh fuck, I hate that movie so much. But
you're like, why do I have to think about that movie?
and I also hate General Grievous. Like I hate him more than
General
but
Kenobi.
I don't want to go into that tangent.
Hello there.
But there's a conversation between Anakin and Obi-Wan where he says, "You're like the one of the wisest, most powerful Jedi ever. There's nothing more I can teach you. You're a great friend." Like he had a ton of respect for Anakin
Yeah,
in
yeah,
that terrible, god awful movie.
yeah. I guess that's true. I have to go back and revisit that movie because I guess I felt like he might have been throwing it in his face because, like, or at least the trauma of what Anakin did caused Obi-Wan to no longer believe in him as the chosen one, as we talked about last week. Like, he's totally convinced
Yeah, by the
Luke.
time we get to Rebels, that conversation with Darth Maul that you're talking about,
Talking
like
about, yeah.
Pablo Hidalgo, I remember talked about that on like Rebels Recon. But he was saying like, yeah, like at this point, Obi-Wan Kenobi thinks Darth Vader is beyond redemption. There's like no
Right.
hope for him. So there's that line in Return of the Jedi that I've heard people talk about for this show where Darth Vader tells Luke, Obi-Wan once thought as you do. When Luke is telling him like, you can
Nice.
be turned back. So I'm wondering if in like these last two episodes, Obi-Wan
We'll
Kenobi
see him
will try.
try.
To, like,
That
try
makes
to get him to
sense.
turn
I
back.
like that a lot. I
It's
like
clearly
that.
not going to work with Vader, but it might
Right.
work with Reva.
Right.
Reva,
Oh,
however you say it. She might turn good.
she might. There are rumors that there's going to be a spin-off series with Reva. I don't know if that's true or not.
Do you think
I
we're
liked
gonna
her
get
in
any
this
more
episode.
backstory on her? We're gonna find out where she came from, right? She
Yeah,
was one of
they-
those
they'll
kids,
do that.
those Jedi kids, right?
They'll explain
think-
her.
I think that's next week's episode. Next week is going to be exposition heavy.
It's going to set up the finale.
I actually wouldn't mind
Yeah.
if they did like a little exploration of like how she escaped Order 60, what?
66.
66. But I
And
liked
where
her.
she went from there.
I liked her here when she's torturing Leia and she's saying things like, the meaner you act, the more scared you really are. So like she's talking about like herself.
She's projecting, yeah.
Right, and it also ties into like what Leia told her cousin in the first episode of the show when she told her bigger cousin like you're actually like terrified of your dad, but you try to like say what he's.
Nope.
Oh,
He's
Father
frozen.
just froze.
Oh, am I back now?
Yeah, you're terrified of your dad, but you try to.
You repeat whatever he says.
He
even
says
if you
even though you don't understand it.
and
Yeah.
it's kind of like Reva is like like she's like terrified of Darth Vader, so she's got to act like she's like the big mean badass and cut
She
off
is.
people's hands and shit like that. And when she's actually the one who's like living terrified and stuff. So I thought that was Moses Ingram was good at a lot of that. I mean, and she's like, no, like you're doing this to yourself. This is all your own fault and stuff like she's trying to justify all this shit to herself.
Look at this little kitten. Oh my gosh, guys. Look at that. Jay's presenting the possibility that there's a theory that he saw that Reva is maybe the wife that one guy works with, Tala, of that one guy who works with Tala.
Ice Cube Jr.
Yeah, what's his name? He's cool.
O'Shea Jackson Jr.
O'Shea Jackson, thank you. Who the Inquisitors found, quote unquote. I still think it's the little girl from the Order 66 scene, because why would they show that?
Yeah, that kind of stood out.
Yeah. But that is an interesting idea of, the wife. Maybe the wife was one of the people frozen in the, or like in those tubes. Oh my god, look at the little kitty. Anyways, that tells me it's time to wrap it up. Any other thoughts on this? Audience, chime in if you have any other questions. We got a couple of experts here on Star Wars. Maybe one expert here on Star Wars, the other, and a lot of enthusiasts here. Father, what's going on over on Text Trek? Tell folks what's going on over there.
Well,
We just
Over
had a
on-
stream tonight. Fun stream.
yeah, over on
thanks.
Text. You can talk, or you can join the conversations where we talk about the Star franchise that I really care about, the one that I really like. Now, the Star Wars is the one I hate, but Star Trek's the one I just only love. But yeah, we're currently covering Strange New Worlds. We do a live stream every Friday night at 7 p.m. Central, talking about that week's episode. We do a deep dive discussion. And you can also listen to that show wherever you get your podcasts. And we are going to be doing some Deep Space Nine talk.
Oh. Deep Space Nine talk.
Deep Space Nine talk.
We've covered in a few weeks.
Oh, you're so
Cutting in and
frozen.
out. Uh-oh.
Anyways,
What happened there?
you froze like us several times. The last thing we heard was Deep Space Nine talk, and then you froze.
Oh yeah, we'll be talking Deep Space Nine when Strange New Worlds is not on anymore. But
Right on.
But yeah,
And also, there's going to be another brand new Star Trek show. Probably Lower Decks is next, right?
Yeah, that probably won't be till August. So I
Uh,
was thinking we might get
Wait,
some
we're
Prodigy.
getting a break? We're getting a break?
I think unless they drop some Prodigy between
Oh,
Strange New Worlds
okay.
and Lower Decks, but I don't know if that's gonna happen now. We're getting so close that I'm starting to think we might actually get a break.
I love
You
talking
know what
about
I
Star
think?
Trek, but I wouldn't mind a break.
I think now that they're like, yeah, we really got a good live action one. Let's have a break before the next one. And by the way, Brent Spiner says that Picard season 3 is coming out in February.
Yeah,
Oh,
know if-
okay.
Yeah.
that's kind of always been what I thought.
That makes sense. That's not bad.
Was January or February, even though they
not
shot
far
it
off.
so early that I think it would potentially be ready sometime in the fall. But
Even he was surprised at how long it would take. Like he's like, I don't know why it would take that long because all the actors have talked about. Yeah, we filmed all that stuff, and
yeah, but I think that's a good idea to put it off. We have lower decks always seems to do well. They're always happy with lower decks. So it's coming out in August like always. So that means that it'll wrap up in October. And that's when they premiered Prodigy last year, was in October. So maybe they'll just give us 10 straight episodes of Prodigy instead of doing 5 and 5. Maybe they'll just wait till October and then run that until it's time for Picard.
I really want to see the second half of Prodigy all at once.
Yeah, I think that might be better. But yeah, after the next 4 weeks, I think live action Star Trek is done until early 2023. And then we'll do a season of Picard, a season of Strange New Worlds, and a season of Discovery. Because Discovery season 5 just started shooting. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
Michelle
know if they've
Paradise
actually.
just tweeted that.
Yeah, I don't know if they've actually shot anything yet, but I think Monday. I think Monday is like a big day for them. So Monday might actually be the first day of production, which makes sense because on Strange New World. I mean, I'm talking more about Star Trek than Star Wars at this point, but Strange New Worlds.
That's okay.
Last I heard, they were shooting episode 9 of season 2, and that they might be on season. I'm sorry, on episode 10 now. So because they share some assets, Strange New Worlds and Discovery, like the AR wall and stuff. But what they're probably going to be doing with Discovery is they're going to wait a few weeks before they need to shoot anything on the AR wall and let Strange New Worlds finish up with that. But yeah, the way that it's shaping out, I think we'll get a Lower Decks, Prodigy, Picard in February, Strange New Worlds in the spring, and then Discovery will be next summer. And then more Lower Decks and more Prodigy, maybe.
It's a good time for streaming. There's lots of good shows out.
Especially if you like outer space science fiction stuff, because right now, like just this week, For All Mankind, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Orville, Strange New
that's
Worlds. Right. Those are all like high budget space-based sci-fi shows. PJ, did you see the For All Mankind premiere?
No, I'm gonna wait a bit and get Apple Plus when the season's done. Because I
It is
watched the
good.
first 2 seasons. It's a two. This is the 3rd season, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the first 2 seasons, like binged it, and I'm like, I can't imagine having to wait
I haven't
week
watched
to week for
any
this
of it.
awesome.
I gotta
Like,
watch
I
it.
just wanna. I know I'm gonna get spoiled on some things, but I'm gonna try to avoid it.
Strange New Worlds is my favorite show on the air right now. Strange New Worlds is my favorite show, but For All Mankind is the best show.
No, wow. Dang, I gotta really catch up on that. PJ, what's going on Boat Rack? What are you doing these days? What do you gotta tell people about?
Well, I was off for 2 weeks yesterday because of technical issues, but usually we do discussions after every new Star Trek episode. Well, at least starting with this Strange New Worlds. And I've been doing them with like Sean and Marcelo, but mostly with Braxton and Ruben. So hopefully I'll be back Thursday.
Ruben is in the Galapagos right now, I think.
Yeah,
He's on vacation.
He's having a good time.
Oh,
cool.
that's why he didn't get back to me. I sent him a message.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, he's out there in the Galapagos. I don't know if you can even reach people out there. It's like...
So Boat Wreck Thursdays, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to be back, and you guys can join me as well if you want.
I was looking forward to it. I'm sorry you had technical difficulties.
I might have to do some catch-up. reviews because I don't want to
yeah.
do 3 in one shot because that'll be too much.
Sounds good. Let me know. I'll try to be there. All right, folks, check these guys out. You can check out Starfleet Boy. We have Starfleet Boy After Dark. This channel is like more experimental. Plus, we do like off the wall things, watch alongs. Like, you know, we're going to be doing some other weird stuff. But for the next 2 weeks, we'll do Friday night discussions for Obi-Wan. When that's finished, we're going to take a little hiatus, and then we'll be back Saturdays on our new time, which is around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next week, right, Fathery? You're doing it if you're for your patrons.
Yes. If you join the Text Trek Patreon, you can come in as little as $2 a month. It goes a long way to helping us out. And you're invited to our monthly Star Trek episode watch-alongs. We're doing one Saturday. We're going to be watching Amok Time because it's very relevant now with T'Pring and Strange New Worlds.
That's right. So tomorrow you can find us on Starfleet Boy talking about the Cloud Minders, which is actually quite relevant with this episode with the floating city.
It is a good episode, in my opinion.
It is a good episode.
It's a good story
from what I
about
recall.
classism. I am eager to. Maybe I'll watch that tonight, or maybe I'll. I gotta get up in the morning. Me and my partner Antonia, we're going to Hamilton Pool. That's like a famous landmark here in the Austin area that I've never. People who are from here don't go to it, but like tourists like to go to it. But and people who like have just moved here within like the last 10 years, but they're not from here, they like to go to it.
Oh, like little kitty cute tuxedo cat. Oh my gosh.
Okay, get down now.
Hey, Antonia, tell everyone how good For All Mankind is.
Amazing! I love it.
Yay.
Is it your
That's
favorite
awesome.
show on the air right now?
It's my favorite.
Jay, we do want you to drive down to Toronto and find
Yeah,
it
Jay,
out.
go
Find out all.
investigate in Toronto.
Or go to Montreal and visit Trek on the Tube.
Or go to St. John's and visit PJ.
Yeah, exactly. Go do a whirlwind tour. And then Sunday we'll be talking about Strange New Worlds, and then you can find Fathery and I talking about Strange New Worlds and all the news in Star Trek over on Trek Central's stream at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. British time. What is it called British time, or is it like Greenwich Mean Time, or how do people refer to it?
I call it the Queen's time.
The Queen. Oh shit! You can't call it that.
Cats on the
Fathery.
keyboard. Oh, cats on the
Yeah,
keyboard.
time what? Anyways, we look forward to it. Oh, and then we do a Twitter Spaces on Thursday right before PJ stream, so check it out. We thank you so much for everyone who was in our chat tonight. Also for GMT Greenwich Mean
Jay,
Time.
is this your first time on Starfleet Boy After Dark?
I feel like Jay's been around before, but I'm not sure.
You're a really cool audience member, and we'd love to see you again. Maybe
Yeah,
come
we
back
would.
next week and talk Kenobi with us again.
Same time, same place.
Wow, this cat has a lot of energy all of a sudden.
Oh, the kittens are quite feisty. I love it. All right, folks, live long and prosper, and we will see you next time.